a moment of silence to pray or as you wish, so we may better be able to do the business of the county this evening. Thank you. Okay, and we'll now have the land acknowledgement. So I acknowledge that we're on the ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and we want to thank the Mi'kmaq people of today for sharing these beautiful lands here in Pictou County with our ancestors, whether they came 4 years ago or 400 years ago. We are all treaty people. Okay, we'll move on to the agenda. Somebody would like to move the adoption of the agenda? Moved by Peter, seconded by? Seconded by Larry, Councillor Turner, I should be saying. Any questions on the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Are there any emergency resolutions this evening? Any emergency resolutions? Seeing none, we'll move right along to our minutes from our July 7th meeting. Are there any errors, corrections, omissions to those meetings of July the 7th? Any errors, corrections, or omissions to the July 7th meetings? One last time, any errors, corrections, or omissions? Oh, I'm seeing a light on. Is that yours, Ron? Yep, go ahead.
Your Order. Just on the amendment that I made towards the community coordinator, it's showing that the vote was 7-5. I believe, if I remember right, it was a 6-6 tie.
We thought it was a 6-6 tie at the time, but it couldn't be because we only had 11 councillors here. So it was 6-5 vote. I remember thinking about that too, Councillor Bailey.
Yeah, but I think if... Okay. Anyway, it's no big deal. I thought it was a 6-6 tie.
I believe Darla was not here.
Yeah, so it was 5-4-6 against.
I was here.
No?
Yeah, no,
I was here.
Somebody
I wasn't here at the budget meeting. That's one I missed. Wasn't this one last one?
Somebody wasn't here. Well, maybe I'm thinking of a different motion. And there was one where the count was we said it was a tie vote, but it ended up not being. I thought it was last week's or last month's meeting.
Nobody absent.
yeah, nobody absent, but
You know,
I understood it was a 6-6 tie.
Either way, it would have been a defeated motion. Yeah,
that's understandable.
yeah. I just don't.
That should be corrected.
How many have we got on that list? No, wait, now you're counting motion defeated. 1, 2, no, 6 you got now. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, like I said, either way, the results are going to be the same. So we'll now move on to, we didn't, okay, I know, I declare the minutes and for the official record approved. So we'll move on to the correspondence. There's some thank yous from some of the people who were granted money, and then there is a letter from the federal government saying that they put somebody in charge if we want to have any contact with anybody in terms of what's going on at the post office. I think it's still very serious. The final shoe hasn't dropped yet, I guess, but the vote was turned down. So we can almost expect to have a strike here at some point. Both sides are dug in pretty hard, and that is going to have a big effect on our businesses and our individual citizens, but I don't think there's probably any advantage of us sending a letter to this other individual that's there now, but if somebody feels differently, we can. But I kind of got a feeling we said what we were going to say, and that's probably as far as that's going to go, and we're probably going to be faced with a strike here. We may eventually be faced with losing our post offices, what I'm afraid of, our smaller post offices around our county. Instead of downsizing, they should be giving them more responsibility and upsizing, in my opinion, but that's only my opinion. Okay, so is there any comments on any of the correspondence? Okay, hearing none, let's move on then to the New Scotland Business Park report. Are there any questions or comments on that report from New Scotland? Seems to be pretty well running steady right now, waiting for some agreements to fall into place or buildings to get started. Okay, if there's, we don't need a vote on that. Now we'll have the business items that require our vote. So we have a resolution. We'll start with first one, Deputy Warden Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Whereas the municipality of the county of Pictou County issue a request for proposals to create new office space on the second floor of its administration building. Whereas it received 5 tenders: Ridgemark Construction Design of Debert, Nova Scotia, 144,800, Global Construction Debert, 177,708, Take Construction Limited, Antigonish, 214,840, and PCL Contractors, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, 386,220. Whereas all tenders are reviewed by the CAO to determine compliance with the tender specifications, whereas the CAO has found no discrepancies or reasons to advise against possible award, it recommends acceptance of the lowest tender. Therefore, be it resolved, the municipality of County of Pictou award Ridgemark Construction and Design of Debert, Nova Scotia, the tender to construct new office space in its administration building in the amount of $144,800 plus the HST. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 5th day of August 2025. I so move this resolution, and seconded by Councillor McKeel.
So seconded.
Okay, you've heard the resolution, moved and seconded to do with the construction within our building to make room for some more offices in the lower end here. Are there any questions or comments on that motion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Now we'll move right along to the Camp Geddie Recreation Grant. Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Warden. Resolution, be it resolved, the municipality of the county of Pictou approve a recreation capital grant of $1,000 for Camp Geddie for the construction of storage bins. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 5th day of August 2025. Moved by myself, Councillor Randy Palmer, and seconded by Councillor Joe McDonald.
Okay, moved and seconded for the recreation grant for Camp Geddie. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Moving right along to the appointment to the Valley View Villa Board, Councillor McDonald.
Resolution, be it resolved that Don Butler of Lismore, Nova Scotia, be appointed to the Board of Directors of the Riverton Guest Home Valley View Villa as a citizen representative for the municipality of County of Pictou, dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 5th day of August 2025, signed by myself, Joe McDonald, Councillor McDonald, and seconded by Councillor Chester Dorr.
Okay, so you've heard the reading of the resolution to appoint Don Butler, former Councillor Don Butler, to the Valley View Board. Are there any questions or comments on that resolution? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. All right, moving along to municipal service grants now. We'll start with District 2, Councillor Wadden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Be it resolved, the municipality of the County of Pictou approves the following municipal services grant for District 2. The Celtic Chorus Women's Choir, $1,000 for purchase sheet music and memberships in the Choral Federation. Little Harbor Community Center, $16,000 for extension of the community center. And the Little Harbor Presbyterian Church, $2,000 to restore the church bells, for a total of $19,000. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 5th day of August 2025, signed by myself, Councillor Deborah Wadden, and seconded by Councillor Joe McDonald.
So seconded.
Okay, you've heard the reading of the resolutions for the municipal service grants, District 2. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Now we're on to District 4, Councillor Bailey. Right ahead.
Resolution, be it resolved that municipality of the County of Pictou approves the following municipal service grants for District 4. There's quite a few of them there, so I'm not going to read them. They're all in front of you. The total is $32,500, dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 5th day of August 2025, signed by myself, Ronnie Bailey, second by Councillor Parker.
So second.
Okay, that's the, heard the resolution for the municipal service grants in District 4. Moved and seconded. Any questions or concerns with those ones? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Now we'll move on to District 8. Counselor Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution, be it resolved, the municipality of the county of Pictou approves the following municipal service grants for District 8. Abercrombie Cemetery, $8,000 for maintenance and cemetery improvements. Abercrombie Community Center, $5,997 for, to maintain the property. Alma Cemetery, $4,775 groundskeeping and headstone repairs. Mount William Cemetery, $5,485 for maintenance and gate repair, for a total of $24,257. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 5th day of August, 2025, signed by myself, Councilor Larry Turner, seconded by Councilor Chester Dewar.
Okay, moved and seconded the municipal service grants for District 8. Are there any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. At this point, I'm going to ask the deputy warden to take over the chair so I can speak more freely on the next item on the agenda, please.
Item 9.7, request for letter to NSFM regarding strong mayor powers. Mr. Parker.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Warden. I asked for this to be put on, not that I'm looking for some super warden powers, but, yeah, I think it's a dangerous, oops, cut out in time already, cut me short now, Okay. I think it's a dangerous slide that we're on here, and I felt that we hadn't heard anything at that time from NSFM, and I think they're the ones that should be speaking on this because it does affect all municipalities in this province. It may be HRM right now, but you know they're getting the first kick. But you know the same thing could happen in any one of our municipalities, and probably on the bigger ones down. I don't know if it could happen here because we have a warden system versus a mayor system. The mayor can always say, I've been voted in by the whole of the population, whereas councillors are only voted in by a portion. But that's not the case when we have the warden system, where I still run in my district, and then I get chosen, thankfully, you know, by the councillors, the majority of the councillors here. But I think it would be a step backwards, and a dangerous step backwards, if one person's vote is a lot more powerful than the rest. If one person's vote, if it goes through the way it's being talked about, would be worth maybe 3 or 4 other votes. Because the mayor, if he had the strong powers, could, with I think it's about 1/3 of the councillors, you know, cancel the vote of the majority. To my mind, the majority, each person should have one vote. In the mayor system, because it's elected by the whole of the municipality, they can use the fact that, well, I was elected by them all, so therefore I should have more power. But I think if, as warden or councillor, if you can't, you know, convince the rest of your councillors on what you want done or would like to have done, that you shouldn't be given extra power to be able to do that, I think it will lead eventually, and it's starting to look that way, to where the mayor of in this case HRM, but of another municipality, could set the budget on their own without the other councillors agreeing. That's pretty well dictating where that council's heading, and you know, and you have to ask after a while, and I'm sure somebody will, why we need the rest of those people sitting around the table. If the strong mayor is going to be able to set the budget, fire the CAO, hire the CAO, even give directions to what the staff is doing. That's not the system we work under, for sure. You know, and I don't know, did anybody else receive a survey form from NSFM wanting you to fill that out on the strong mayor powers?
Yes, it has to be done by August 13th.
Yeah, it has to be done. You got one.
Yes.
But did anybody else get one of those surveys?
Everybody got it.
Everybody?
In Nova Scotia, all councillors in Nova Scotia.
Okay, but I see a lot of people shaking their heads, so that's what I'm wondering.
It's in your inbox, it's on August the 1st at 10:14 a.m.
Yeah, and so that's the first, that was after I requested Sue Ann to put this on the agenda, and that was the first I'd heard, and I wondered why I wasn't hearing from NSFM on this, but it is, to me, a dangerous move that eventually is going to make councils feel like they don't have much control of their own council. If one individual can have a lot more say than everybody else, and you know, then it appears that the province, through whether it's the premier or whether it's you know, a minister working with the mayor, can really dictate where things are going, and I think that's highly dangerous. So what I'm when I put this on, I still think it applies, even though we got that survey form. I would like us to I'll make a motion to send a letter to the minister or to the premier, you know, and to the Minister of Municipal Affairs, John Lohr, you know, requesting that the strong mayor powers, or whatever you want to call them, be looked at very seriously and put the proper safeguards in before we move in that direction. I'd look for a seconder for that motion.
Okay, do we have a seconder for the motion on the floor? Moved by Peter. Okay, it's regularly moved and seconded. Okay, we'll open up for discussion. Anyone want to speak on it? Go ahead, Andy.
I won't be supporting this letter for a couple reasons. First reason is we ran into the same issue at our last council session where something was put on the agenda and there's no background information with it. If we're going to write letters and make decisions and antagonize the provincial government, we should have some information on the table. There's all kinds of academic studies, newspaper reports, but we just got a little 3 or 4 sentence request. And that's not the way this is supposed to work. If we're going to make decisions, we have to have information in front of us, and we do not have it in front of us now prior to the meeting. That's what we needed. And I think the letter is premature. I think we should all do the survey if you haven't done it already, because the NSFM is canvassing councillors. So I think we should, I can't support this letter being sent. It's just, it's bad form.
Thank you. Councillor Boyles?
Yeah, I'd be supporting it. I think that, you know, it's a dangerous precedent, as the warden said there, when you give one person a whole bunch of more power than another. I mean, it sounds like, you know, something that happened in '39 or something. I mean, this is crazy. We shouldn't around, nobody should have more power than any one. Majority should rule, and that's the way it's always been. But also, I think when things come up on the agenda, some of it is common sense. I mean, you know, when there's a problem and we all know what the problem is, and somebody puts it forward, I think it's just like petty to turn around and to growl about something that might help people, that might save a life. And I mean, if that's the way we are in this council, God help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Turner?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with the sentiments of the warden in terms of extending mayor's powers. I think there's a lot of potential for conflict between the mayor and the elected councillors. There's also, I would say that there's potential for the abuse of power as well. You know, the arguments may be cogent right now in terms of bike lanes, I guess, in Halifax, but In terms of going forward, there's a lot of situations that there could be abuse of power as well. If you have a singular opinion shaping public policy, I don't think that's very healthy in terms of democracy. Also, there's going to be a marginalization of council members. You're going to have a setup for conflict, as I said earlier, between councillors and the mayor. And I think that's, we have to get away from that contentious way of governing that's kind of come about in the last 25, 30 years kind of thing. Also, reduced accountability. All the power lies, if it lies in the mayor's office, then accountability rests on one elected official, and I don't think that's a good thing either. And then enacting policies with limited input, with not input from councillors that have any that may have legitimate concerns, but so that's dangerous as well. But in terms of procedure, I think that we should not go through with the letter, and I think that we should simply fill out the questionnaire that was sent to us and let NSFM do their job. So that's my position on that. I'm in agreement with the sentiments, but in terms of procedure, I think that we should simply go through the questionnaire and answer the question and not send a letter. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bailey?
Thank you, Deputy Warden. To me, we're sending in a letter that doesn't mean anything to us. It's not mayor and warden's power, it is mayor's power. Until this council makes a change on how our elected, if we ever go, and I'm not necessarily in favor of going to the mayor system, but to me, it's not affecting us. So to me, I think a letter's a letter, but to me, I think it's just going to fall on deaf ears. Why do they care up there? Because these powers aren't going to have any effect on them.
Thank you. Any further? Randy, go ahead.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. And if you want to know the truth, I've seen it on the agenda. I didn't know what it was about. I'm reading the email here now. I didn't even realize about the survey, because we get a lot of surveys that, that aren't really necessary. But I don't know enough about this. Is this something that's going to be legislated through the MGA Act, or is it going to be, and are they looking at just the regional municipalities, or are they looking at all municipalities, or like that? I agree, I don't have the information that I require, that's all.
Any answer for that, Brian?
So the news reports are saying that it's an amendment to the HRM charter, is what is currently being there. Government says they're not even looking at it, but others are saying they've already had the discussion. So it's what's factual, what's not factual. I don't know, but the news reports say it's an amendment to the charter, the HRM charter, which is a separate piece of legislation.
Yeah, and by reading the survey, I disagree with a lot of it, that, they can fire and hire the CAO, and they can direct the CAO and staff to do what they want to do. Like that, to me, what's the sense of having a council when you have that? But until I get more information, I agree with filling out the survey and sending it in and just seeing what NSFM comes back with, and just see what they say. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. Debbie?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. When I read this request, I think what bothered me more was that you're looking for a letter to the NSFM on this subject, as their silence is telling. I thought that was rather an unfair comment to the NSFM, because they depend on us to get the information to them. So obviously someone did get the information to them, I'm assuming, and they do want to take the matter on, obviously with that survey. So I think NSFM, as far as this agenda item is concerned, is doing the job we want them to do so far, and trying to get more information so that we'll be better informed as to what's going on. I wasn't prepared to come and to write a letter to the province tonight on that issue, because I don't think, like again, we don't have enough information, and I agree, it's a concern with the strong mayor powers, but it's something we have to get more information on. I'm not prepared to write a letter to the provincial government for that right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Darla?
Thank you very much, Deputy Warden Murray. I would agree. I think this is pretty alarming. And for those that may not have thought they received the email, it's kind of in our other folder. It's not in our focus folder, so that's where mine was because I didn't see it. You know, reading through this, reading through the survey here, it is quite alarming. I think when what it does is that it doesn't make everybody's voice matter. I think when residents are voting, they're voting for someone to be a champion for them and for their voices to be heard. And what this is doing is, while you know, the mayor is separately elected, it gives them, it makes their voice more important or louder than their other representatives. And I don't believe that to be a very, I believe it to be problematic, as I don't think there's fairness, and I don't believe that all the voices in our communities will be heard. So I am definitely not in favor of these mayoral powers. I do think that we should encourage everyone around the table to complete the survey. I do agree with sending a letter, possibly later, but I think we got to let this play out a little bit for a few factors. The first is that, yes, this is beginning in HRM, and usually what happens in HRM does trickle down to other municipalities, but it is not quite reaching yet. And the second thing is that this is a mayoral system, and this is not our system. So I think we need to wait a little bit. It's not that I'm not in favor of sending the letter, but just maybe not quite yet. Thank you.
Thanks, Darla. Anybody else got anything before Robert has the last go? Go ahead, Donnie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's a terrible idea to give the mayor or the warden, in this case the mayor, extra powers versus an ordinary councillor here. It just doesn't make any sense at all to me, and I would agree with the motion. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, anybody that didn't speak yet? Okay, go ahead, Robert, for your last part of it.
I just want to clarify that when I asked for this to go on the agenda, NSFM hadn't sent out anything at that point. It was 2 days after, before I saw that survey. And I did see it, you know, right away. I don't know, Darla said it was enclosed in something, but I did see it when it came out. And that's why I suggested now we send a letter to the government, because NSFM at least now has acknowledged that they received a complaint or something from somebody to do something. I thought when they went to the new organizational system that they were supposed to be a lot more nimble, was the word that was used, and respond a lot quicker. But this has been around for probably a month or a month and a half now, you know, in the news circles. And so it's, to my mind, NSFM is the right one that should be responding to it, but because they weren't, that's why I put it on the agenda to send the letter. But now that the letter was, or the survey was sent, I changed the motion to be to the Premier. I don't have a problem if people want to wait to send the letter and do the survey. That's fine. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention, whether it be NSFM or the government or whatever, that we have some concerns. That this government, this council isn't, you know, on side with what's happening. Yes, it may not happen here, but most likely it will. It generally tends to start in HRM and then, you know, gradually spread across the province. And my fear is that if we wait too long to voice our concerns, it may be too late. That once the government makes a decision, it's a whole lot harder to get them to back off of that than if we let them know our feelings ahead of time, and hopefully other municipalities the same way. so that they'll think twice before enacting these extra powers. But now, if council feels they want to wait, I'm fine with that. I mostly wanted to get NSFM on started, but I am going to vote for the letter that I made the motion on, because I think it would send a message to the government that at least one council is not happy with the extra powers being added, even if it doesn't apply to us right now. I think sending the letter will let them know ahead of time, that, and I'm hopeful that other councils would do the same thing, and they would know that, this isn't, I think in the bottom line, that municipalities are important. And if we don't fight for them, I think they will disappear. You'll get them down to where they've got no real powers left, and then people start to question, why do we really have them? And that is what happened to school boards. So in 2017, when McNeil government announced the end of school boards, there wasn't a lot of squawk about that, because most people felt by that time, well, why do we have them anyway? So if we let this go too far down the road, I'm afraid of where it may put municipal governments. I think municipal governments are very important to this county and to this province. And if we let them silently slip away like they did with school boards, we'll pay the price for not having them someday. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So you still want your motion to stand? You don't want, okay. So the motion, everyone clear in the motion? Everyone in favor, say aye. Aye. Contraminded?
Nay.
Show of hands for the nays, I would say. Yeah, it was to send a letter to the Premier
And the minister.
and the Minister. Okay, let's have the nays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Motion's defeated.
Okay.
Yeah, we can take it up again.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
when, at another time, but we just have to be careful on the timing. Okay, so we'll move on now to the Litter Awareness Committee signage recommendations. Councillor McKeel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. So, as you're aware, this council term, we have a new anti-littering committee. It has become a very robust committee, and we have some really great people on our committee, both people that work within, I guess, the littering world, shall we say, and also people from our community that are very passionate about keeping our communities clean and beautiful. When we first began our committee, we realized that we didn't have to invent the wheel, that there was many municipalities that are also targeting this exact same problem across our province. And this campaign of making signs has been very effective in the municipalities that have taken up this, I guess, idea for our communities. So what we did was we put a call out on social media for local amateur photographers to submit a headshot of wildlife, preferably taken in Pictou County. And we received over 130 photo submissions, so it was quite successful. And our committee narrowed it down and received the 4 pictures or 4 signage that is in your package. We also were very successful in receiving a grant. We've applied for it quite a few times, but this time we were actually successful for this specific project. So we are very excited about that. So this is one of the many things that we're trying to do and move forward for our municipality. So we're really proud of these signs. They're all, like I said, they're all local photographers, taken in Pictou County, and they're kind of to grab your attention. The reason we brought this forward tonight was not only to make you aware of this project, but to also ask for your assistance. Because of the grant, we are able to place 2 of these signs this year in each district, and we're very excited about that. But we are asking help from each counselor. We'd like you to submit 2 locations for these signs, maybe even a third one in case one of those isn't achievable, for these to be placed in your communities. So it cannot be placed along a provincial roadway as the rules, but a place where people gather, a trail, somewhere where there's where people gather for maybe recreational recreational events or that sort of thing. So if you'd like those, submit those to Adam. We'd really appreciate that. We hope that you like our signs, and hopefully we'll be getting these soon and up in your neck of the woods really soon. So, thank you.
Okay, and I do sit in on that committee. Sometimes I don't get to every meeting, but the thought behind, and this has been tried in some other areas as well with the animals, the thought partly is that if eyes are looking at you, you're less liable to litter. So you'll notice all of these have eyes that stand out looking at you while you litter, and the fact that it's wildlife, that you're littering not just our world, but you're littering their world, where they live. So that was some of the thought process, I know, behind having the animal pictures. The other thing I'll add to what Councillor McKeel said is that we do have agreement from some of the trails people to help us put these signs up. And we have ordered, is that right, Councillor McKeel, some posts? As well as the pictures and whatnot, we've ordered the posts and whatnot too. So if we have the people to do it, and we have the equipment, then they should be able to go up fairly quickly once we find out from councillors where they'd like them to go in their area. And it is limited, like somebody was saying here earlier tonight, because if you eliminate, all of these areas. But I know perhaps beaches, in some areas, and some of the trails people, when I talked to one of the individuals about helping us put them up, they would like some on the trails because they get littered badly too. But I can think of different places in my area, and I'm sorry you can in yours. Up at the Green Hill Tower is in my area. So to my mind, I look at that as an area where a lot of people drive in there and have a look down over the hills and then leave. Well, they might be getting rid of a bunch of stuff out of there. So where do these go, Councillor McKeel? When the councillor decides to send it to you or send it to the chair?
I think those go to Adam.
Go to Adam, okay.
So if you're unsure, we would like at least 2, maybe a third one, that if one of those first 2 locations isn't doable. But if that's something you could do in your near future, kind of think about it as you're driving around your communities, that would be really great. And we're pretty excited about it. Thank you.
Okay, are there questions on these? You say if you've got the ability to put them up, or somebody has, the other people have offered to help us some, but certainly if you know of people or have people who can help you put them up, once we get the area approved, I guess, once that's seen as an approved place. So you send them to Adam where you want them, and then if you have somebody to help you put them up or not, and if not, then it's up to the committee to try and make the arrangements to get them installed, I guess. So are there any questions on that, what they're trying to do here? Oh, go ahead, Councillor Boyle.
Yeah, I don't want them in our area. I tour around, we get enough litter and that around, and I can see them being tore down and thrown around, and then we're just going to be more litter. So if somebody else wants the tool from District 9, they're welcome to them.
Okay, Councillor Thompson.
I'll take them. I'm representing District 11, and it's an amalgamation of 2 districts, so I need more than 2. I got a lot of spots, unfortunately.
Two was only seen as a start here. They had to work within the budget that we gave to that committee, and I believe that the hope is that it would grow into more as we get the funding to do it. Certainly the funding from the Divert Nova Scotia helped a lot. Go ahead, Councillor McDonald.
I think it was also said that we could buy them, or some district people or whatever wanted to see them, and put them up themselves? They could buy them
I think that was
themselves?
discussed at the committee, wasn't it? Yeah. No, what was the cost roughly? We figured it out that night along with the post and everything?
110 or 115 or something like that?
Yeah, they're about $200 a
In
sign.
total, for the posts and everything, yeah. Yeah, and I think they were gonna be completely paid for by the divert money, I think?
No.
No?
No, because
How much did we get from divert?
we only get 3,500 from divert,
And they're $200 each for 20 of them, 4,000.
Yeah, I think-
So,
That's close. Yeah,
pardon me?
with tax.
it's with taxes and everything, the post
Okay.
is closer to, 5 or 6, in between 5 or 6.
Okay, but they had a budget of their own too from this council, so they're able to, use the divert money to get them well along the way and then pay the rest out of the budget that they had from this council. Okay, any further questions on what we're trying to do here? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Councilor Donnie Parker.
I sit on that committee here and the chair at the last meeting. I thought the 3,500 was gonna cover everything, but we were gonna get the posts from iMath that's in there, and they were gonna be cheaper than that original price on the posts. But anyway, the signs are 24 by 30, they're aluminum, and you have to put a couple screw holes through them and screw them onto an aluminum post, and they're sharp looking. I think they'll look great. If people wanna buy them, put them on their lawn, I think that was discussed at the last meeting. And that's something, some people may want one of these nice signs on their lawn, and it's a good idea. But I kind of thought the price was, unless the price changed or something there, I thought we had it at around 3,500, but unless the price of the sign posts went way up, because we were gonna get posts from I. Matheson for around $20 a piece or something.
The quote that you were looking at was for 12
Yeah.
signs, so you
Yeah.
had to double that.
Okay.
Right.
I know we doubled it to 24, but I thought we were within it, but maybe not. But anyhow, it's a great idea. I think if anybody doesn't want them, I'll take them too. But parking lots, there's one up in Soul Springs, community halls somewhere, some places not on the edge of the highway. I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, looking around, I miss the light sometimes, but are there any other questions or concerns regarding what we're trying to do here, what this committee's trying to do? Go ahead, Councilor McKeel.
Just to make one more comment, as the warden said, this is just the beginning. This is what the budget allows, and we want to stay in budget. So, as this grows and hopefully, we're coming back to you year after year and hopefully having initiatives for your communities and for your district that we're able to offer some visibility and hopefully, do our part and make, and bring some awareness to it, because I know that we're all experiencing it. And I know in my District 3, it was over at my ratepayers meeting in Pictou Island, and they want a sign. And so, I have one sign for Pictou Island and one sign here too. So, I know it's hard. We all have to kind of choose where we're going to put it. But hopefully this is just the beginning, and they're really eye-catching, and I'm really proud of these. So, thank you.
Okay, and we thank that committee for making the effort, I think, and it means a lot to the people on that committee, that we do something. Anything is more than nothing, so that we do something to try and cut down the amount of litter in our county. It is disgraceful at times, as different people have told us. So you have to start somewhere, and they have other ideas. They're going to meet with some of the big sellers, I guess, of the products that get littered along our highways, and see if we can get some cooperation from them to look at different ways to reduce that amount of litter by leaving it some at their businesses, but also our schools. We have to look at, is there a place for our students or for the public to put the litter? If there's no place to put it, then you can hardly fault people. Well, they still should take it home, but I mean, it's a lot less liable to happen if you have, garbage cans, whatever you want to call them, but you still, somebody has to empty those, and that's where the problem comes. Who's going to look after them? It's one thing to put some garbage cans around, but anyway, we'll look forward to seeing these spread around our county. So that wasn't for a motion, that was just for deferred business. Is there any consideration of deferred business tonight? Okay, I don't see or hear any. Community announcements. Go ahead, Counselor Dewar, I know what's coming up.
Well, it may not be.
Oh.
And that's why I'm talking. There was supposed to be a band come today for walking trails, everything to do with people being out around, and gatherings in parks. All the provincial parks were going to be closed. So I know the Cayley Field's not a provincial park, and we have the fire department, but they're worried now that it may not come off because of this rule that's coming up, because they do have barbecues there, but they got the fire truck there too. But anyway, if the province puts that through, it's going to affect every one of us, our summer things, like, unless it's all inside, right? So they're talking about the walking, this Jitney Trail, the trail in New Glasgow, the trails everywhere, the four-wheeler trails, everything. Skidoo trails that people use for the four-wheelers, and they're out all the time going, and all the provincial parks and all the provincial walkways, they're talking about closing them down, fire band, okay? So I just want to put that out there, and if that doesn't happen, or if we can pull it off, well, it did happen, but it may not be they may separate stuff. I don't know what's going to take place, and they may not. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, I know it's a community announcement, but there's nothing really for everybody to go to. It's a problem that we're having, and maybe not all you councillors are having it, but I had a phone call from another councillor to see what I could do to help about the telephone service in the country. It's absolutely deplorable in some places. We got a senior citizen in White Hill on the Fraser Road, an older senior citizen, that phone hasn't worked right since forever. And they told her they'd come out and fix it, but they want $79 plus tax. Like, there's something wrong here, because you're paying $80 or whatever Bell's charging now. It's too bad we didn't have more phones that we could be selling for $20 or $30 or $40. I'm sure we could sell a lot of them in some of these areas. But anyway, this lady, she's just having a terrible time. And it's that noise that comes on all the lines when there's water in them and the old lines are bad. And likely those green posts that are absolutely no good anymore, but nobody wants to fix them. It's their equipment, and they're paying for their phone. And if she doesn't pay the bill, well, that's fine. They shut you off in the station. But anyway, that is a community announcement as far as I'm concerned up in that country, because there's lots of other people having the same trouble. And it's not a cell phone place, so she can't go, her daughter couldn't go and get her a cell phone. And when I called, they said, oh, they'd look into it. Well, I don't know who's looking into it. There must be somebody looking out a window somewhere in Mary in Cuba. But anyway, the Philippines. Anyway, there's a problem out there, and I know we talked about it. Every one of us talk about this, but nothing seems to be getting done. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewar, and that's concerning about, I know the government's trying to prevent fires in our woods. That's the last thing we want to happen, but, maybe like you're saying, there needs to be some discretion somewhere as to, how much, or who, if it's everybody and totally everybody and everything, or if there's gonna be some discretion. But, your event's coming up soon in your area. Yeah, so if they're going to make any discretion, it has to happen pretty soon.
Maybe I was praying too hard to keep it sunny.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Wadden.
I don't think,
Oh, okay, it's the first light I saw, that's all.
just to Chester's point, I know down home we have, the firemen put on the annual salmon dinner, plank salmon dinner every summer, and we had to change it to October, because even if it was the fire department, all the trucks parked there, they still had the fire ban until 7 o'clock, and they may not be able to have a fire after 7. So we had to cancel out the August dinner and change it to October. So last year and this year it's moved to October because of the fire ban. But at the same time, you don't want to see a fire either, so.
Councilor McDonald.
This weekend, Saturday, August 9th, 11 till 2 p.m., Miramish Community Center is having their Miramish Family and Fun Fest. There's bouncy houses, entertainment, barbecues, cash ice cream and barbecue, face painting, music and entertainment there. And I guess they're lucky they don't have no woods around them, so, and they're using propane.
Propane, yeah, you can have propane.
Yes.
Okay, that's at the Martha, the old schoolhouse, yeah. Okay, and Councilor Donnie Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to speak to Councilor Dewar's point there on the lady up in White Hill there. She's 97, I believe. There's a bit of telephone reception, it's terrible. It's just unreal. And, her daughter called me later, same problem. It goes all the way up to Ernest Fraser Road there. Everybody's getting static on their phones, but they can't get Bell to fix it. I called Bell, you get somebody down in New York somewhere, and they test the line, and there said the line's good, if you want the guy to come out, it's $79. Called her back, and she said she didn't want to pay $79. So, I mean, it's a problem all over the place. Montreal Road up there's got the same issue. The phones aren't working because they're very fine. When it rains, they don't work over there, so. And the cell service is terrible up there, there's no power. So it's a real issue, a safety issue for them, real concern.
I wonder who has the power to do anything about that. It's not our level of government, I don't think it has that power, but, so the feds then have, because we are meeting with our MP, Sean Fraser, it's next week, I believe, on the 13th, that he's meeting with the deputy warden and myself and the CAO, and, you know, I guess we'll bring it up there. You know, we have to take it to a level that can do something about it. We can talk about it, but we can't do anything about it. But we can bring it up to a higher level of government. So I think that's the best avenue for now, where he's requested the meeting. So we'll definitely put that on the agenda to bring up. I don't know if that's only in the White Hill area or or if it's all over. Yeah. Okay. Because somebody should be able to enforce. Yes, they're a private company, but they said CRTC controls. Oh yeah, they'd love to do that. You know. Okay, we'll bring that up when Wayne and I meet along with Brian. Go ahead, Darla. Oh, sorry, Randy. I doesn't see both ways. I followed all the way up to Sir Joe.
Just on that, you should be getting the residents to call the constituent's office of Sean Fraser's. Just the more people that call that office, the more of a problem it is. If they just hear from a counselor, then it's not a big issue. When you start hearing from the general public, then it becomes more of an issue. So anybody who calls you about that, I'd give them the numbers for Sean Fraser's office and let them make the call, and you make a call also, but the more calls, the better, so. Okay? Community announcements. Well, East Pictou Rural Fair is going ahead. Chester, sorry, we're not in the woods. We're staying out of the woods.
What's
We're
the
staying out of the
date?
woods.
What's the dates again?
Starting this Saturday, we're having a ball hockey tournament at the Thornton Rink. And then on Monday, starting Monday evening, there's pickleball tournament, Monday through to Thursday. Friday is a concert under the stars down at Music Mountain, and something else taken on. But it's all on the Facebook page. We get on Saturday. It's the big day, Saturday, Sunday, car show, games in the rink, children's parade, things like that. So that started on Saturday, and Sunday's the Main Street Parade, which is at 1 o'clock, music and things like that. And I'd say we're canceling our fireworks for sure. So that was one thing that they did specify too in their letter there, that notice that fireworks is banned too, so.
And when's the horse pull?
And the horse pull is Saturday too, yeah.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to be hotter than last year, so
Hotter than last
bring your
year.
sunscreen.
Bring the big hat. Okay, are there any, go ahead, I'll get to you now.
Yes, I just want to comment on that as well. I too have had residents that have had either connection problems, like where you can't even call anybody, let alone your MP or anything like that. And I always call Bell, and I've had very good luck because I stressed to Bell that if this person were to have an emergency, who would be at fault? And it's usually fixed with the next day or the next day after, because it is a serious safety issue that they, you know, if this person can't call 911, if this person was to have an emergency and they can't call out because of the faulty phone line, whose responsibility is it at the end of the day? So I would stress that when you call, and they usually come the next day, in my experience. Lobster suppers are happening. Our annual lobster supper up at the Caribou Fire Hall or fire department is happening this month, but unfortunately to say it's sold out 2 hours ago, 400 meals. So, which is incredible because we've did more meals than any year before. So I'd like to invite you to come, but I can't unless you already get tickets. So anyways.
I was just getting hungry too.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, at least it's a success, and that's the important thing here, is they keep our communities going. Go ahead, Councilor Thompson.
So I don't have a community announcement. It's just on the telephone issue. I know I've posted this on my Facebook page. But there is a 1-800 number, CRTC, or there's a link that you can get for CRTC to file a complaint. And if they get enough complaints similar, if there's a pattern, if it's a one-off complaint that needs to be dealt with, CRTC's the lead agency to do that work. That's where the phone call should go to. It's like the MP's office is just gonna commiserate with you. That's what they're gonna do, because they don't have the authority to fix Bell either. But CRTC's a regulator. Thank you.
Okay, if I have an announcement, but I was waiting till, go ahead. Jane, you're too close, you see. I'm only looking in the distance.
Just, everybody, don't forget about the museum tour, Thursday night, 6:30 in Scottsburn. And it's in the old building, co-op building where they used to make ice cream, or A&M Small Engines is. It's upstairs there. So I told them I'd like to be in around 10. So if you want to take somebody with you, there's no problem. They'll have lots of people to take us through. So it'll like to be an hour and a bit. So. Okay.
I'm going down the water slide.
And the fee is $10. I don't know if he's going to charge us, but I think we should pay it. Okay, and Adam is coming too, I guess, so, okay. Don't forget her. Thank you. Fill your card.
Okay, so is that everybody? Okay, I want to give credit and attention to 3 individuals tonight who were recently recognized by the Pictou County Sports Hall of Fame. And as you know, there's a new building going up in Trenton for that Hall of Fame. And so the 2 of the 3 that I'm going to recognize here tonight are from Durham. Sonny Campbell is being recognized in the category of fastball umpire. You've probably never seen a better umpire than Sonny Campbell. He's as fair as you'll ever get, although some people call him blind sometimes. And the second one I want to mention is Jason Sanford, also from Durham, in the fastball category. And Jason's probably mid-30s or something now, but it wasn't that many years ago that he traveled around the world, on a team that represented Canada, at all the world championships. Came out of when we remember the day when every village had a ball field, and Jason started out in the ball field in Durham and went from there, and now he's in the Pictou County Sports Hall of Fame. And the final one that isn't from Durham, in fact, she's now living in Winnipeg, is Carmen McDonald, who I think is from District 3. Carmen was a great goalie in women's hockey long before women's hockey became popular to the level it is today, because Carmen's grandmother worked for me forever, so I very much followed her path. And so in the high school years, I think it was both grade 11 and 12, she went to the American schools so she could be involved in the highest level of hockey, in the female hockey that there was at the time. And I always teased her that she was going to make it to the Olympics. She didn't quite get there, but she's now training with the Canadian Armed Forces in Winnipeg, found out today. So those three individuals, along with probably about 20 altogether, that got nominated from Pictou County to be in the Sports Heritage Hall of Fame. So I just want to do something a little different than the telephone. That's all. The telephone's a big issue, but important to remember those who do so well in their whatever the chosen endeavor is. Okay, if there's, I have one here from Peter. Go ahead, Peter.
Just want to tell you that, well, they were inducted last Saturday.
Is it? Yeah.
The ceremony
I did
was
see
last
pictures
Saturday. And
somewhere.
yeah, they're all in. There's a book you can get too that they're going to be coming out with everybody's in it too. I think it's $200 for the book, but it's
Right.
got them all in it.
Yeah, okay, well, that'll be, somebody can buy me one of those for Christmas, anybody, don't all buy the same thing, though. Okay, I think we've come to the end of our agenda, so I will declare this meeting adjourned. Have a safe trip home.
Jason went to District 3.
He does now, doesn't he?